What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Low Luxury, and welcome back to another episode of Low Luxury Archive. And we are far down the rabbit hole on our archival journey of Demna Gvasalia's Balenciaga. And today, I have probably one of my go-to pieces from my Balenciaga archive. This thing is so versatile, it's so wearable. It is a double-breasted jacket, women's jacket, but I don't know if you've noticed so far, in Demna's case, it's all just people wear. It's not like men's wear, women's wear. Most of this stuff can work for anybody. So it's a very long, double-breasted blazer jacket, but it's also got some really unique elements that allow it to be worn in some really, forward-thinking ways, and ways that you wouldn't expect. So, before we check this thing out in depth, let's see where it came from. Yo. Before we get too much further, subscribe to the channel. I make tons of luxury and streetwear content. And also, if you're looking for deals on luxury and streetwear, check the description. I've got some of the best sites with all authentic stuff. Check it out. Here we are once again on our favorite website, the Balenciaga Vogue runway page. And the interesting thing about this blazer is that a lot of people actually don't know the collection that it came from, because Demna was doing these looks as far back as fall 2017. Because I'm going to kind of give up the lead here. I'm going to let you in on a secret. What's so special about this blazer is that it can be shoulder buttoned, just like these pieces here. You see how all of these have this kind of twist going up? Well, that's what this blazer is. So this was the first collection where Demna really brought out this kind of motif, right? So if we take a closer look at some of these, you'll start to see a lot of the similarities. And actually, the person I bought this blazer off of mistakenly attributed it to this collection. They said it was from the fall 2017 collection, but actually that is incorrect, even though I totally understand where they got that idea from. But in fact, this look was from a year later, the Resort 2018 collection, where you can see it right over there. So this was the very first look of the collection. It's a slightly elongated, kind of like green plaid blazer. We actually, unfortunately, don't get a great look at it here because it's more of a side shot. But this is the look that we are going to be needing to recreate here. So I'm already trying to think, and I'm already struggling a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to have a good time with it. But you can see that he kept using this motif through this collection, as well as that previous 2017 one. And I think this is just such a strong idea, because you're taking a typical double-breasted blazer, and you're just adding this completely unexpected twist to it. It's so simple. You're just adding a button up at the shoulder so that you can twist it up. But you'll see there was actually a lot of thought put into this, and where those kind of button slits are and things, to make it work as well as possible. And I really respect that, because it's such a simple idea, but executed so well. And it wasn't just blazers that he brought this theme into. You can see it here with big puffy outerwear, the kind of like security crossing guard look going on here. We've also got it a couple looks later in this kind of like quilted hunting jacket. So he was really, just like Demna does with pretty much all of his wild ideas, he takes it to the extreme and applies it in as many directions as he possibly can. So now that we heard all of that, let's check out the details of this piece. Of course, this is Balenciaga, so we have to get a little bit of branding in there. But you can see this is earlier Balenciaga. 2018, by this point, they'd started changing the logo, but you can see it's not the full boldness that it would become. You also see this at the brand tag, which is actually inside that flap. It's not at the back of the neck. So this, again, you've still got that more stretched out logo, but by this point they have dropped the little dot before Paris. So it's just Balenciaga Paris on a white tag. And that's like folded over and stitched down on all sides there. The inside of that extremely clean. As you've probably noticed, we are fully lined here in black, super thin, super soft. And you can see we're still in the era of the old logo on the tags and the kind of like rougher black paper for the tags. And the crazy thing is, this is a size 34, which is like a women's extra small, I believe, which is just laughable Like, that is so far from the case. You'll see it on me. It's not even a men's extra small, or not even a men's small, let alone a women's extra small. Like, hell no. But that's just how Demna does it. His sizing makes no sense, and I love him for it. And one more little call out on the luxuriousness of this. This is virgin wool and mohair. That's what this blend is here. And it is nice. It's nice. So the great thing about like the size and length of this is that when I'm wearing this, people will say to me like, oh, nice jacket, nice coat. They don't just see it as a simple double-breasted blazer. And another part of that is how like open these flaps are. If you're not buttoned on this, they just kind of flow openly in a very appealing way. But you can see that every aspect of this is awesome. Like, those lapels are masterful. Like, I don't even think you can call them a notch lapel at that point. These are sewn together here, and then you get this little kind of spike triangle going off the side. Alright, I think it's about time we get to the main event here, which is, of course, the buttoning. We have arrived at the buttoning. Sounds like a horror movie. Are you ready for the buttoning? And now it's starting to sound kind of sexual too. So let's leave that behind. So most certainly we can just button this like a normal double-breasted blazer if we so chose. You could just put this guy right there, put this guy right there, and then when you get to the bottom, we're just about even. But you can already see off the bat that there's some interesting elements like the placement of these buttons. These two are pretty much straight on, but then this one is up over there. Why is that? Because we could fold it over the other way, and we could even start twisting this way and pull this upwards, button this with the offset one, and then you start getting like a twist down here where you've got this angular overlapping of the hems. But of course the kind of runway style is this guy way up there. And again, we've got options here because we've got 1, 2, and 3 button slits. So you could do a really tight pull here that really pulls it around your neck by pulling this top one up. So if we button that there, that would be your kind of neck right there. So almost turns it into like a turtleneck. But then you can get more open and flowy in like a Rick Owens kind of way if you change which slit you're going to use for that button. So that final one, the longest one, you're going to have a big drape here, kind of at your chest. And again, that's really appealing as well. So now that we've checked out all those details, let's take a look back at that runway look and see if we can put together our own interpretation of that. Alright, so this fit is going to be essentially impossible for me to remake because I do not have matching pants for this piece, and I definitely don't have like banana yellow pointy heels or whatever those things are. So we've got to make some changes, and I think what we're going to do is go a bit more casual. So this is a plaid here, or a check, I don't know exactly what you want to call it. But I think what we'll do is we'll start mixing our plaids by going with these Henrik Vibskov pants. They're like sweatpants almost. So I think the color story works. We've got the greens in there too, obviously plaid. The red works well, the purple works well. It's going to look kind of wild, but I'm excited to see how it turns out. And again, I definitely do not have those yellow shoes. The only yellow I have in any shoes is the yellow in these laces on my Lanvin curves. So that's what we're going to go with for those. So obviously a much more casual fit, but I'm curious to see how it turns out. I'm definitely on the fence about this, so let me know in the comments what you end up thinking, okay? So first off, I think I forgot to mention that this blazer has shoulder pads. So yeah, it has shoulder pads, but I feel like that's kind of to be expected with a Demna blazer. Of course, they're all going to have these strong padded shoulders, right? So I don't know, I'm honestly totally on the fence on this one. This is probably the furthest I've gone from the runway look here. I took some cues, but beyond that, this is kind of my own look that I just tossed together. So I don't know, let me know if it works at all. This blazer though is just amazing. The fit is perfect. Like, I generally wear a small, maybe a medium. This thing's probably more like a men's large, but the flowiness of it makes it work as an oversized piece, and I never feel like I'm like drowning in it, even though I kind of am. Of course, we've talked about that versatility of the buttoning. You can see here all 3 levels, like the first slit, the second slit, the third, and how they each give different levels of kind of like draping of the leftover material at the neck and chest. And I love having that level of versatility to play with, because sometimes I'll want it open and I'll be walking and flowy. Sometimes I'll wear it like a regular old double-breasted blazer, button it off to the side like normal. And then other times I want to get crazy Rick Owens and have this crazy neck chest draping going on. So I love having those multiple options with a single piece. Of course, it's a Balenciaga blazer. It's virgin wool and mohair. It feels incredible to wear. It's really light and airy, but super comfortable as well, and feels super solid. So like, this is one that I'm probably anytime I'm going anywhere where I feel like I should be wearing a blazer, this is going to be my go-to. So that is the incredible Balenciaga double-breasted jacket. Take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.